Hello and welcome. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and welcome to the weekly forecast for week commencing May 15th, 2023. I'm coming to you from lovely Winton, a little bit outside of Winton this time. This is a jump up where they have the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum. Once a year or twice a year I come up to help prepare the fossils, which means taking away the rock and refining the actual fossilized bone. And that's what I'm doing. But at the moment, I'm giving the weekly forecast for you lovely people. So each week I provide guidance using my deck, the Mythic Tarot. I choose 7 cards, one for each day of the week. And then I will choose a card, give some guidance, give a reading for it, and then pop the card back in the deck. So we don't know whether that card is going to pop up again. Did last week, didn't it? And following on from that, I am now doing a midweek deep dive to see what forces are at play energetically, and so we can bring a deeper understanding and allow that stuff to come to the surface. And then on Fridays, we will have a healing day. I will be popping those up on YouTube, but if you're watching this on any other social media, then I will be sharing it there as well eventually when I get the system refined. Anyway, let's dive into next week. Week commencing 15th of May 2023. Let's hope the wind stays away. So first of all, we're looking at day 1, Monday the 15th of May 2023. What card do we have? Oh, 8 of Swords. You look at that card, it's quite I want to say it's like a little bit tortured, isn't it? Look at that. Now, starting off Monday, we are struggling a little bit with what we think we should be doing. And, you know, basically I always call the 8 of Swords the mind your own business card. Know when to mind your own business. And oftentimes we get caught up in other dramas or other things that really we think that we should be helping or should be doing because we can see a bigger picture there. But really the 8 of Swords is reminding us, do a bit of a check-in to say, actually, where are your energies best served at the moment? If something is not actually working out, if you're involved in something else that is not actually to do with you, but you think that you can help, check in. Do you really need to be there? The 8 of Swords reminds us that we are actually giving our energy away unnecessarily to things that we are thinking that we should be helping with, and it comes down to fear. We're worried that if we don't fix it, then something bad will happen. So it's coming down from our own fear. Check in. Is it your fear? So Monday is a day of checking in and making sure that where our energy goes is in our best interest, and the best interest of your soul, of the soul, and even the best interest of the people that you're helping. Sometimes we think we're helping and we know that we're not. But anyway, check in. It is a bit of a torturous one. However, it's like a it's torturous in that it's a crux time, as in it's like we know that we're doing it, and our soul is saying, look, please just stop. You know, we know it, we know we're doing it, we're just in denial because we're stuck there through fear. So a bit of a nudge out. It's a choice. That's all I want to say. Okay, so right, back on the deck. Let's have a look for Tuesday, 16th of May 2023. I've shuffled the cards. What do we got? Taking from the middle. 9 of Swords. Whoa, a bit of swords play here. Okay. Now, if you have a look at that, again, we've got a bit of torturous feeling of torturous energy there. 9 of Swords energy is where we are left with our own, left to our own devices. And you know how when we start, I won't say, look, I'm not going to say that, I am going to say we are imagining that something is wrong. So we are creating an issue and then adding some context to it and then talking ourselves into it that it's real. So a 9 of Swords is very much an anxiety card. But it's an anxiety that comes from within. Again, a fear is coming up to really take us off track. Looking at those 2 cards so far, I am convinced that we are moving through something that requires us to shift some old ways of thinking. We have been kept in a pattern or a loop of blocked thought energy or blocked behaviors, and these 2 days, these 2 cards are actually shifting us in a very not very pleasant way, but it's creating circumstances so that we actually check in, because otherwise we will live like that for the rest of our lives. So those 2 cards, or the energy of those 2 days, provide an opportunity to really check in. How are you looking after yourself? How are you, what words and what phrases are you saying to yourself, and are your fears real? Our thoughts will lie to us, our thoughts will lie to us, and those thoughts will then create emotional drama that doesn't actually exist, and then we have to spend all of this time to tear it all down to start back at the beginning again. So a real opportunity to check in to see where we are tearing ourselves down. You know, if we look at the 8 of Swords and then go to the 9 of Swords, it means that we've broken away from the thing that's taking our energy, and now all we're left is our own devices, and that's why the 9 of Swords is in play, because we don't have that to distract us anymore. Now we have our thoughts, that where the real depth of fear comes from. I know it doesn't sound great, but you know what? If you can bring your fear to the surface, into the light, then it no longer is a fear. You can see it for what it is. The light heals everything. Okay, so next let's have a look for Wednesday, the 17th of May. Knight of Wands. All right. I love the Knight of Wands. It's a knight, so that means action. That means the knight also represents that sort of impulsive action. And when the Knight of Wands is in play, it's like we think, I'm going to stop, especially after the last 2 cards, I'm going to stop worrying about it. I'm just going to do this over here and hope for the best. So it's basically, we leap before we look. Now, but the Knight of Wands energy allows us to bridge that gap, rather than trying to think it through, which is what the other 2 cards are trying to represent. The thinking it through doesn't work. The Knight of Wands energy is here now to allow like a circuit break. Say, right, I don't know what here, I'm just going to do this over here. So it allows us that circuit break and that leap. We leap before we think. We leap before we look. The Knight of Wands also means that in this instance here, not all the time, but just for this day, is that I feel like that when we land, we're going to be okay. I just feel like that. So the energy that's talking to me is that we just get fed up with ourselves and think, bugger it, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to make this break and hop over here. It's almost like, right, I'm going to just shut that door and move across the country, sort of thing. So, but expect that using the Knight of Wands energy, or the energy that is represented by the Knight of Wands, to break the circuit. Right, back on the deck. Let's have a look now for Thursday, May the 18th, 2023. Let's see. It's a big start to the week. All right. Oh, we have here the High Priestess. Isn't she just adorable? The High Priestess on Thursday represents that part of us that goes, still. Still. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting still. It is not a card of peace and calm, but what's happened is that circuit breaker of the Knight of Wands has allowed us time to reconnect with our intuition. The High Priestess is the connection to the intuition. So we have now some stillness. We've done that leap. There's nothing there to distract us anymore. We now have time to check in. And when I'm talking about checking in, I'm talking about checking into the soul energy, the very core of our being. What is it inside? And so we, like all of that sort of raucousness and rowdiness that has been invading the mind and invading the thoughts, has now calmed down, and we can use the energy of the High Priestess to access our intuition in stillness. So I guess the Wednesday's card has created a good circuit breaker and allowed us to, the what I get from the High Priestess is that we all of a sudden remember that we have intuition. It's like, oh yes, I forgot. And so the High Priestess is there to remind us. And just go, oh, right. And so we do those things, those practices that bring us back into ourself. Okay. Now let's have a look at Friday, the 19th of May, 2023. I'm getting better at this, remembering the dates. Okay, from the middle of the deck. Oh, look at that. So, from the intuition. So Friday is a nice, calm, settled, you know, I'm thinking, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, it's time to stay home, put your feet up and watch a bit of Netflix or something. Something to just, not self-soothe or to hide away, but it's like, oh, finally, I can, I feel like we feel like we've got our comfort back. So if you think about from where we were on Monday and breaking away from that sort of cycle of torment that we're doing for ourselves and doing that circuit breaker and leap of faith and bringing it back into ourselves, we remember and recognize and realize actually what a stability and what great like comfort or home life or comfort life that we have here. That we have around us. And so, but what I get from this is like, I'm just like, oh, I've got my favorite cuppa and I've got my favorite snack and I've got my favorite streaming service on, and I can just put my feet up and really enjoy myself, because you know what? There's nothing taking my attention away, and I can actually appreciate my surroundings. So by Friday, things should have really settled down. And I guess that's the word. We'll really appreciate what we actually have. I think that's a lot of that energy of Monday and Tuesday has taken us away of the appreciation of what we actually have around us. And so having that circuit breaker brings us back into what we actually have. And I think that we'll, not on Friday we won't understand it, but later on we'll understand just how destructive those thoughts can be. We're still going to, I feel like we're still in a healing process, or before we actually get that insight. Right, let's have a look now for Saturday, May the 20th, 2023. Ooh, what are we going to get? Oh, look at this. 3 of Wands. Now, look at the 3 of Wands. He comes, look, I always think about him as being a little bit arrogant. So that's the Vicki part of me. I'm going to sort of bypass that. The energy that I'm getting from this, though, this feels, I know, my sister's, my feeling is that, again, it's like a, I want to say like a shopping day. For me, that would be a shopping day. Just go out and spend a bit of money and indulge myself. So for the energy of Saturday is really to, you'll have an opportunity. It'll be, the energy is there to feel okay about indulging yourself and just having, like, as much as Friday is about sort of, you know, self-soothing. Actually, Friday is not self-soothing. It is just like taking a break and saying, phew, glad that's over. And Saturday is about going out and just breaking loose. And it is about, it's not about, you know, taking care of the daily chores. It's just really about indulging yourself, I suppose, or just maybe a bit of a reward day. How's that? A bit of a reward day. So the three are like a finalization of a cycle, but it is a reward day. It's a reward for effort. Let's do that. Do something nice for yourself on Saturday, but the energy is there to do that. And it is a bit of a selfish card there too. I'll get a selfish feeling from it. Like, go hard. Okay, so let's have a look now for Sunday, May the 21st, 2023. Let's see what is in store for us for that day. Oh, look at this. Look at that. 2 of Cups. I love the 2 of Cups. Oh, you know, from where we started at the beginning of the week, I wasn't getting this message, but you know what? I'm thinking that, like with the 2 of Cups, the feeling I'm getting, or the message I'm getting from that, is that there are some people or situations or something that we've left behind. So that beginning of the week energy, or how we sort of our mind has been hooked into something, and once we break that circuit, the things that we love, the things that we had forgotten and have left behind, come back, and we think, oh, I love doing that. We reconnect with people, we reconnect with hobbies that we love to do, we reconnect with things that make our heart happy. And these are things that we have left behind, so now we're bringing them back into our space. That tells me that there is a lot of, like, that circuit break in the middle of the week, and the torment that at the beginning of the week is a real like a soul opening or soul awareness that we need to reconnect with those things and those people that we love, and there's an element that we might have left them behind. Right, so my roundup for the week, I think I've already said it 100 times anyway, but I'll just bring it just nicely tied up, is that oftentimes we don't even know that we are trapped in a cycle of never-ending thoughts that rattle around and hold us in a place that is damaging. And because it's unconscious or we don't know it, then it's a necessary part of our life. We put it there in place because it provides us some sort of survival or safety net for us. But when it comes up to the surface to be examined and we realize what's happening, then it's time. It's the soul's way of saying, well, you don't really need this anymore. I'm going to show it to you. So once it's up in the conscious, we then have a decision to make, or we have a choice. Not just a decision, we have a choice. Will I let it go, or am I going to continue it? And both of those are valid choices. However, the discomfort that we feel, and if we want to access that intuitive part of ourselves and the rest that comes from it, the rest of the week, which is so lovely, you can take advantage of you don't need to do anything else other than acknowledge that this is happening. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to fix yourself. You don't have to do the hokey pokey, nothing. On Wednesday, when the night turns up, there is an opportunity to break the circuit. So we'll take that leap, whatever it is that it means. Take the leap, and it means it's like a cutoff from those 2 days for the rest of the week. And once we do that cutoff, once we say I'm done, enough's enough, then all the goodness, all the goodies come into our lives, and they start to emerge. They don't just all get dumped on us. They start to emerge properly, and so we can appreciate what it is that we have been denying of ourselves. So bit of self-nurturing, bit of I keep wanting to say self-soothing, but it's not. It's just self-nurturing, looking after ourselves and bringing the energy back to where it can do the most good. Right here, right here, right here. Anyway, that's the forecast for week commencing May 13th, 2023. Look out for Wednesday's Soul Life coaching video. We're going to do a deeper dive. I'll be using my Soul Life tools, my little diagnostic tool, looking at and going deeper into see what's happening. And on Friday, Healing Day. So we'll take the energy and the messages from the Soul Life or Soul Purpose information and use that energy to finally release. So that expect the soul life. The soul life is like shaking everything loose and bringing it up to the surface on Wednesday, and then on Friday it's about just letting it drift away. So just to complete that cycle. Anyway, thank you so much. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Much love. I'll see you next week. Bye. See you guys next week with love from me. Mwah.